High-stakes US-Russia talks on ending the war in Ukraine have failed to yield a breakthrough.
Well, and this as Russian President Vladimir Putin met US President Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff in the Kremlin. And after earlier signaling the forces were ready to achieve Russia's initial war goals. However, after the meeting, Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov said that peace is not closer in Ukraine. He noted that the sides failed to reach a compromise on one of the most difficult issues, which is territorial disputes.
So far, a compromise hasn't been found. Some of the American proposals seem more or less acceptable, but they need to be discussed. Some of the wording that was proposed to us doesn't suit us. So, the work will continue.
Kushner and Witkoff were to present Putin with the new version of the US plan, which has been hammered out after the initial version raised fears in Kiev and elsewhere in Europe that it made too many concessions to Moscow.
Well, Putin has demanded that Kiev surrender territory that Moscow claims as its own. On Tuesday, Putin claimed that the eastern Ukrainian railway hub of Kupiansk has been under Moscow's troops' control for weeks now.
Now, speaking to journalists shortly before a meeting with Witkoff, Putin said that in a few days Russia would also capture Kupiansk, Vyslovyi, another Ukrainian settlement south of Kupiansk along the Oskil River. Listen to this.
I think there are 2,000 buildings there. There's fighting going on there. 600 buildings, somewhere around 1,000 already. 650 are in the hands of the Russian army. We are advancing. I think we'll take that settlement too in a few days. That's another settlement.
Russian Defense Ministry has released a video. It shows troops and explosions in Zeleny High, a settlement that news agencies citing the ministry say has been captured.
Now, as Russia continues to make advances, Putin accused Ukraine's European allies of sabotaging US-led efforts to end the war that has gained momentum in recent weeks. The Russian leader accused Europe of amending peace proposals with demands that are absolutely unacceptable to Russia, quote unquote. That's what Putin said, and thus blocking the entire peace process, only to blame Russia for it. He also warned that if Europe wants war, then Russia is ready.
We're not going to have a war with Europe, I've already said. But if Europe suddenly wants to wage a war with us and starts it, we are ready right away. There can be no doubt about that.
A Ukrainian delegation could meet Witkoff and Kushner on Wednesday after their meeting with Putin in Moscow. A senior Kiev official told AFP that Ukraine does not rule the meeting out and is ready to meet them, adding that the talks could be held in Brussels, but there is no clear agreement.
Ukrainian President Zelensky said there is no simple solution to war. He repeated his country's insistence that Kiev takes part in the peace discussions and that clear security guarantees should be agreed, such as NATO membership, a move that has been long opposed by Russia.
Meanwhile, Trump said the war in Ukraine was a mess and not an easy situation to resolve, and in his final cabinet meeting in 2025.
We're trying to get that settled. I've settled 8 wars. This would be the 9th, and our people are over in Russia right now to see if we can get it settled. Not an easy situation, let me tell you. What a mess. It's a war that never would have happened if I were president. Not even a chance. And it didn't happen for 4 years.